What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. It is the new Clash of Knights. I never thought I'd see this event come back again, but here it is in all its glory. And along with it, we've got a bunch of new heroes to have a look at. So I'm pretty excited. Some of the Knights heroes have been some of my favorite heroes in the game. So it'll be interesting to see how these new heroes stack up. So obviously we're going to start off with the featured heroes, but we've got a total of 4 brand new 5-star heroes in here. We've also got a 4-star hero and a 3-star. So we've got loads to get through today. So let's start off with this one, the flagship hero of the new Clash of Knights event, which is called something like Giamara, I think. Yeah, we're going to go with that. So we've got a new family as well. So she is of the Stag family. And for the Stag family, they get a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes, where all received attack status elements will be replaced by a plus 40%, plus 60%, or plus 70% attack buff for 3 turns. Now, you may say that is kind of niche, and that's what I was thinking. However, the attack down has been a much more common bonus or common ailment that we've been seeing across the board with a lot of the brand new heroes that have been released and a lot of the more impactful heroes at the top levels. So the fact that they're able to replace the attack down by an attack up buff can be extremely useful and also quite devastating as well. So I do kind of like it. It's not quite in the same vein as we've seen from the Ravens and the Wolves, but that is what it is. And obviously they get the bonus in the Clash of Knights event. Now, for Giamara, she also has a passive where she receives health when she gets a buff. So she recovers 5% health when she receives a buff or a positive stack. We have seen this effect, pretty decent effect actually, for the War of Three Kingdoms heroes, for the Journey family heroes, and that's, I believe, a 10% boost. So not quite as good as that, but still pretty good, and it does definitely come into play quite a bit. Now, Giamara is of the Cleric class, which is a fantastic class because she gets the Mana Shield. And if we look at her stats, I mean, just straight away, over 1,000 attack, nearly 1,020 attack. That's huge. 910 on the defense and 1553 on the health. So really good stats. A total team power of 953. She's not the most survivable hero just straight off the bat. I say that a bit tongue-in-cheek because those stats are still pretty damn good. But that attack stat is just out of this world bonkers. So let's see what she does. So her special is called the Power of the Forest. You can see she's kind of some kind of night / forest creature. I don't know if those horns are growing out of her head or if they're just like on the armor, but she looks pretty cool. She deals 300% damage to all enemies. That is humongous. I mean, remember, the attack stat is just bonkers and through the roof. And then the caster gets an additional 100% power for the next special skill they cast. The additional power increases by 25% each turn, up to a maximum of 200% in total. Again, that is just insanely ridiculous. It's the same sort of skill that you get with Quenelle. I'm not sure whether hers is higher or not, but the damage output is the same. In fact, let's just have a quick look because luckily I do actually have Quenelle in my roster somewhere. So let's have a little look here. There she is. Right, so 320% damage to the target and nearby, an additional 40% power for the next special skill they cast, up to 200% in total. So very similar in terms of that, but in terms of the actual damage output according to her stats, it's going to be a lot harder hit, and it is a hit all special. I know Quenelle's running at fast speed and Giamara is running at average, but that shouldn't make too much of a difference. That's still going to hurt quite a lot. And the fact that they get an additional 100% power for the next special skill, increasing by 25% each turn up to 200%, that initial increase is higher as well. So yeah, an absolutely bonkers amount of damage that she's going to be dealing straight up front. Now, all enemies also receive mana corruption for 4 turns. So each time an afflicted enemy receives mana from an additional source, they get 250 damage. She's all about the damage, this chick, man. Let's look at this little question mark, just see the additional info. So additional sources include direct mana addition from special skills, status effects, level properties, passive skills, family effects, the tile effects, and minions. Jesus. So anything that's going to be boosting additional mana, even down to boosted tiles, that is going to be causing 250 damage to the enemy who's casting that skill. That is brutal, man. Mana added for defense team at the end of their turn from matching tiles is included only if the target has a mana generation buff or positive mana generation stack. All right. Okay, so maybe the tile one doesn't really apply unless they get a positive mana stack. But there's plenty of heroes who do things like that. You've got Ariel, you've got Guardian Hippo. There's so many heroes in even at the 4-star level as well that increase mana generation or that affect mana generation. That again, I think that is going to come into play quite a lot. And it's going to be one that you're going to sort of forget about when you go into battle against her. And then the next thing you know, it's just smacked down. So yeah, absolutely amazing hero to start off with, Xiomara. Now let's move on. We've got Lysanor. So she's an ice hero. She's also of the Stag family, so we're not going to go over the bonus again. In fact, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, that's exactly the same. And then the passive is exactly the same as well. In terms of stats, a bit more defensively built for this one. You can see I've confirmed they are officially animal-human hybrids because those things, they're coming out of her head, I reckon. So, stats-wise, 883 on the attack, 988 on the defense, and 1732 on the health. So, really defensively built. Very good stats. Again, 953 team power. And her special skill is called Sapphire Eyes. You can see she's got those piercing sapphire blue eyes to go along with the dress and the jewelry as well. So, each fallen ally gets... Oh, slow speed, all right, for this one. Each fallen ally gets a 55% chance to get revived with 20% HP. That is a humongous revival chance, but it is running at slow speed, so very Mother North / Costume Heimdall-esque. And all allies get plus 50% attack for 5 turns. That is a big attack increase, and it's for a long period of time, but she is running at slow speed. This attack increases by 5% each turn, up to 70%. That's pretty damn good. And all allies regenerate 770 boosted health over 5 turns. Boosted health can exceed max HP. So pretty much a direct comparison, this hero, with Costume Heimdall. And again, I'm lucky enough to have Costume Heimdall. So I do want to just have a little look here. If I just go to inventory, costumes, where are they? Because I haven't completely leveled him up yet. So if we just have a look at him, I mean, his stats are quite a bit lower, 918 team power, but there's a 50% chance to revive with 20% HP, increase of 50% attack for 4 turns, very similar, and regeneration of 672 boosted health over 4 turns. So what I'm trying to say here is they haven't been extremely original with this new hero. It's just a basically slightly better stats version of Costume Heimdall and in the ice element. So yeah, I mean, she's going to be an incredible hero. She's a great reviver. I'm not sure that there's as big of a place for revivers in the game at the moment as there was perhaps a year or year and a half ago, where the revivers were extremely impactful in regular play. They're still pretty damn good in Rush Wars paired alongside Kalo, but then she's in maybe the right color, because then that gives you a bit more of a freedom to do like a rainbow defense in Rush Wars as well. So a good hero, not quite as good as the first one that we looked at, but a very good hero. In terms of ether talents, yeah, heal increase, meh, not great. Xiomara, let's see what she got. Ailment immunity. Wow, that's a pretty good one as well. So she's definitely a draw card for this portal. Now let's look at the last, oh no, sorry, the second last of the 5-star heroes. It's Torben. And Torben, he's gone for the bear outfit. So yeah, and he's giving you the stank eye, the people's eyebrow. And he is of the bear family. So we've got a different family for this guy. So the bears get a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes. All received defense status elements will be replaced by plus 40, plus 60, or plus 70 defense buff for 3 turns. So similar to the stag family, but then it's a defense buff rather than attack buff. Again, I think that's going to be pretty useful in practice. I mean, if you are taking them up against heroes that give defense down, and there's quite a few of them, they're going to be able to remove that and replace it just through their family bonus. So that's really, really good, especially if you want sort of a tanky type hero. I think that could be very useful. Now he is of the fighter class as well, which is it's banging because he gets the chance to revive. And in terms of the stats, wow, again, over 1,000 attack. I mean, slightly lower defense and health. I mean, the defense is still very respectable, but he is definitely built to smack some people in the face. So his special skill is called Mark the Prey. All right. He is running at fast speed, which is awesome. So at fast speed, the target's going to receive 80% damage for all the damage their allies receive for 3 turns. Man, this is a cool effect already. So he's like the red or fire version of Quentin. It's a slightly lower percent of damage, but it's still an extremely good effect where you can mark the target and you can just fire off as many times as you like, as many people on the opposite team as you like, and they're going to receive 80% of damage for all of the damage their allies receive for the following 3 turns. Fantastic skill. Now the target also gets minus 44% defense for 3 turns. They really don't need it, honestly, because they're just going to die anyway. And he deals 200% damage to the target and nearby enemies. So this is a insanely good hero. A bonkers attack stat, hits 3 heroes for 200% damage, marks the target that you've just hit, the one in the middle, and then he'll be dead. He's getting the mark of death, the Mark the Prey. It's very aptly named, this special skill, because this guy is going to be insane. Mark my words, this guy is the one. Well, I say Torben's the one you want. I mean, Giamara is pretty damn cool as well, but I can see him fitting in extremely well as part of your attacking teams going into wars, raids, whatever you like. This guy is going to be extremely useful. So yeah, I do really like Torben, in case you can't tell. Now, the other 5-star hero that we've got in this portal is not featured. So I'm just going to do the 5 stars in this video. I'll do another brief one on the 4 and the 3-star. But this is the other 5-star, and he is a child. And his name is Teddy. That's freaking hilarious, man. All right, so he is also of the bear family, so we're not going to go over the family bonus again. We're not going to go over the passive because it's the same. But yeah, this little kid with a wooden sword and wooden shield, believe it or not, is a 5-star legendary hero. So, wow. Now, stats-wise, he's disappeared, Shame. I think he's a bit shy. He's hanging with the big boys today. So his stats, exactly the same attack and defense. Interestingly enough, 968 attack, 968 defense. I don't think I've ever seen that before, exactly the same. And 1565 on the health. And his special is the Call to Hibernate. God. So he's running at average speed. And just the first line, all enemies fall asleep. Wow, okay. While asleep, the target can't attack or gain mana. And all damage dealt to the sleeping target is increased by 70%. The sleeping target's woken once it takes damage. This excludes damage from minions and fiends, and all allies regenerate 800 HP over 4 turns. This is a terrible, terrible skill. We've seen it with, what's that guy's name? I forget now. Balbar or Bal something like that, where he puts the 3 to sleep or whatever it is. I tried using him. He was absolutely terrible, and I ended up feeding him away in a soul exchange because I just couldn't stand the guy anymore. But the fact that the problem with this is he's putting all enemies to sleep. So basically they can't attack, they can't gain mana. That sounds fantastic in practice, but then any damage that you deal to that target, except for damage from minions and fiends, is going to wake them up. So you might say, okay, great. What if I have fiends on the whole of the enemy team and they're going to just damage them every turn until they wake up? Well, that's not going to happen because you're going to have to match some tiles and make some moves. And those tile moves are going to wake up the sleeping targets. So it really is a terrible special, especially compared to the other heroes that we've looked at. I mean, please let me know if you think that I'm missing something here. Let me know in the comments. But as far as I can see, this is going to be the dud of the portal. And I'm so sorry, Teddy, because I mean, I know you really want to play with the big boys, but this, you just can't, man. You just can't. So all allies regenerate 800 HP over 4 turns. That's probably the best part about this special. There is maybe a use, I'm thinking, where what you could do is, let's say you pair him up with another average speed hero. Let's say you're lucky enough to get Giamara and you get Teddy as well as your sort of booby prize. So what you do is you take Giamara and Teddy, charge Teddy up and Giamara, they charge at the same time. Use Teddy first, put the whole team to sleep, and then Giamara deals 370% damage to the whole team. So that I can see as being a use for this guy, but furthermore, he's not going to be able to stand on his own 2 feet. He needs somebody to hold his hand and take him into the battle. So yeah, that is pretty much my thoughts on these heroes, and I am supremely impressed of the fact that they've put the best 5-star heroes in as the featured heroes, and they've left Teddy on the sidelines, which is a good thing to have done, I would say. But yeah, all 3 of these heroes are absolutely brilliant. I would say probably for me, Torben would be like the hero I would most want, followed in a very, very close second by Giamara, because she's an absolute destroyer. And then I'm not sure I really need this one because I do have Costume Heimdall. But if you don't have a reviver, then I mean she's an incredibly good revive hero, yeah, albeit she's running at slow speed. So yeah, guys. Good luck with the Clash of Knights. I can't believe it's back. I'm so happy. So good luck with the Clash of Knights event. I wish you guys all of the best of luck in your summons. Please do drop us a like and subscribe if you find the videos helpful. And I'll look forward to seeing you all again next time. Bye for now, guys.